כל השנה הלכות בכל יום, הבטח לו שהוא בן ערובה בעזרת השם. Two mitzvot today is going to be discussed. Number 399, sprinkling of מים teorim should be done by a pure person. And mitzvah number 400, observe the laws of inheritance. בעזרת השם, the mitzvot are sponsored today, לרפואה שלמה לכל חולי עמו ישראל, ובכללם לחיה בת לאה, ליאור בן אהובה, ליבי בת רחלי, אהרון בן מרים, יוסף בן מרים, משה בן מרים לידיה, רפואה שלמה לכל עמו ישראל. בעזרת השם. אוקיי, מצווה נומבר 399. מצוות מי נידה שמטמאין אדם טהור ומטהרים אדם טמא מטומאת מת בלבד. So this is the classical mitzvah where the umot ha'olam are actually making fun of us, and they're claiming the Jews have, very simplest thing, very silly thing we should say. And Moshe ad kedei kach that even Shlomo HaMelech, the wisest of all men, he did not understand this mitzvah, where you have a pure person, and only a pure person could be mitaher to fulfill this mitzvah. What's the mitzvah? We take the ashes of paraduma, as we discussed already of the previous mitzvot of paraduma, where you have the ash mixed with water, and a person who takes from this water and sprinkles on a person who is tameh met, meaning a person who touches a dead body, on the third day he has to come and be sprinkled by the Beit HaMikdash to start the process of removing the tumah from him. And then on the seventh day, again, he has to come back, and the sprinkling has to be performed. Now we're discussing the mitzvah of the sprinkling. And the sprinkling individual, specifically the Kohen who is doing that, also has to be the Ben Adam Tahor himself. However, there's something happens here strange. What's the strange subject? The issue is that the person who sprinkles the water on the third day and on the seventh day, he becomes tameh himself. However, the person who he sprinkled on becomes tahor. Very, very strange. And this is the rule, the very simple rule. The answer is, the Jews, we have no logic. We serve Hashem not because it makes sense to us, not because we like it, not because it's profitable for us. We serve Hashem just because Hashem created us, gave us the opportunity to serve Him, and therefore we are serving Him. What's the reason, why, where, and how? It's not our business. Says the Rabbeinu Chinuch, שנצטווינו בדיני מי נידה, כלומר בדיני מי הזייה. So there's such a thing called mei nida, the waters of nida. What does that mean? Those are the waters of sprinkling. דהיינו, מים חיים מעורבים באפר פרה שמזין בהם על הטמאים. The water is taken from a life source, and it's mixed in with the ashes, and then it is sprinkled on the people who are spiritually impure. Velashon nida, what the rabbi wants to say, what is the purpose of this language? Mei nida. What's the purpose? We know something that nida, that we stay away from, right? Karet, we will stay away from, especially every woman in the world is nida for us. Goya or anybody who is not in the immediate family, we're to stay away from them. Klomar. So why are they using this language same here? Klomar haziyah milashon zrika. The haziyah means throwing. Kemo v'yadu even bi, as it says, and over there they bring it down the eicha, that they're throwing those rocks on us. When it's tabinu bedinam hayiduim kebekatuv shemetaharin hatameh. And over there we are commanded in this process that it's purifying the impure. Kemo sheneimar, as it says in Midbar, chapter 19, pasuk 19. The sprinkling is done by a pure person on the impure. So that the person who sprinkled not just stamps a regular tumah, he becomes the tumah chamura, whatever that means. It says over there clearly on pasuk 21, whoever sprinkles the water, the mei nida. ומה נאמר במצווה זו, וחוקת הפרה, פליאה נשגבה, לא אוכל לה. Again, the rabbi over here, כדרכנו, beautiful. If you take a look at the whole chinuch, he always trying to tell you shorish mitzvah. Even though he tells you it's not real shorish, it's just to have some understanding. Here the rabbi did not even bother. No shorish mitzvah. That's it. This is it. This is a chok. Finished. I'm not even gonna try.
We do it no matter what.
No. He's not even trying over here to give you.
He doesn't want to explain it.
You understand? Nobody understands basar b'chalav. Nobody gives you a reason why basar b'chalav is asur. Yet the rabbi, he stretched a little bit. He went ahead and said, Mishum avodah zarah. What? Where and how? Like what? Yeah. The rabbi says that basar b'chalav is Mishum avodah zarah. There is inyanim. Don't get involved. He's not giving us even something to drink. Nothing. Not even a tam. No reason. Finished. Chok finished. No, the paradumah. The person who is sprinkling becomes tameh, and the person who is sprinkled on becomes tahor. Very strange. So the rabbi is not even bothering here to give us shorosh mitzvah. Medinei mitzvah, ma she'amarnu. Okay, now he goes into the dinim of the mitzvah. It was already discussed. V'noheged b'zman habayit, Rabbi Chaim, you know the seat is available here for you. V'noheged b'zman habayit, this mitzvah is during same price, standing or sitting is the same price. Okay, so this mitzvah is only b'zman habayit. B'zacharim v'nekevot, males or females, shekulam tzirachin aziyah. Doesn't matter, a woman, let's say her father died or somebody, she became tameh. Same thing, third and the seventh day, everybody has to be sprinkled. Now, a person who needs the ziyah and he didn't fulfill this mitzvah, he is defiling this commandment of Hashem. Hashem is telling you to do it, and you don't do it. And also, besides all the other things, he's going to go to Beit HaMikdash, Tameh, all the Has Shalom, Tachi Trumot. There's a lot of problems. וכבר כתבתי במצוות הקודמת, כי ברמב"ן ז"ל לא יימנע בחשבון המצווה כל דיני המטומאת, וראיתיו הזכות בספר המצוות שלו במצווה צדיק ו'. So Ramban is arguing on Rambam, and he says anytime there's a question of inyanim of tumah, it's already included in the mitzvah itself, and therefore it's not a separate mitzvah. He's not arguing that it's not part of the mitzvah. Ramban is saying that it doesn't have this issue of separate mitzvah. Just adjusting the camera here because I don't know, it's a little bit off. Okay, now mitzvah number 400. Oh, this is the mitzvah to be bragging about, fighting. Yeah, the whole world doesn't understand. There is a Rishonim, Achronim, including Chafetz Chaim, writes clearly. This is the laws of inheritance. Number one rule of inheritance, says Chafetz Chaim, he has a Rashba and he has many Rishonim on his back, how much inheritance you should leave to your children. The rule number one is 0. Don't leave, and they bring you, Chafetz Chaim will bring you Ula, Amoraim, Tanaim. Don't leave your children a penny of inheritance. That's the number one rule. Number one rule.
What do you do with that?
Donate it, and you need it to go to Shamayim. You need it for protection, to protect you as you are going up. Says Chafetz Chaim, what protects the person when he dies? When does he die? One second, don't ask me. One second, let me finish. One second. Here's the Chafetz Chaim says, what protects the person when the person dies? He brings you Gemara. Ula says, the only thing that protects the person when he dies, from the time that he leaves his body until he stands before Kisam al-Kavod for the judgment, the only thing protects a person is all the tzedakah that he gave, and it surrounds, it makes a kippata barzel around him, and as he's going, the angels are not harming him on the path. Even though we have all the avirot in the world, don't forget, we have every second bitul Torah, we have avira she'en kamu. And now, the best way is obviously the tzedakot. So you'll see them. There are many Rishonim, Chafetz Chaim, Gimar, it's left and right. Leave your children, inheritance, 0. Says Chafetz Chaim, I saw in his days, he's saying, how many left wills and how many did, and everybody's fighting in courts and the children are fighting and they find ways to go around the will and balagan shalem. Best thing is to leave them nothing. Now, with that said,
what about?
We have mitzvah number 400. That's gonna Rabbi Chinuch over here is gonna tell you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see.
7 pages.
More. 7 pages, 7.5 pages of Chinuch in the big pages, not small little short. And then the Minchas Chinuch is giving commentary. The Chinuch itself is speaking over here at least maybe 5, 6, 10, maybe even 10,000 words on this whole subject of inheritance of the Torah. Now, what's your question before we start?
My question is, what happens if you're still alive and you give everything to your children to see what they're going to do with that?
That's the worst part in the world. You know how many people did that and they suffer?
Why? Let me ask you why.
What?
Why? When you're alive, you give it to your children everything. And you see what they're doing with that. They don't fight. Everybody's happy.
No. 1 second. Once
And
you're
let the
alive,
world go peace and
so
quiet.
you give presents.
What?
When you give presents, it's not a question. No problem.
So,
Go ahead.
it's the same
You have the
thing.
ability to do it. No, it's not the same
The
thing.
same
No,
thing.
that's the problem. Says Chafetz Chaim, that's the problem.
I don't have
When
to
you're
wait
not
till
there.
I die, give him everything.
When you're
I
not
wanna give
there,
him while I'm alive.
good, Baruch Hashem, you have the ability. But I'm talking about that when you're there, it's a different concept. It's a different story. Even though it's not true, even this generation of Manan Islam, even while the parents are there, they're fighting already. Before the person is dead already, they're fighting. That's Manan Islam. Okay, let's see. Mitzvah Nachalot. Shenitztabinu b'dinei nachalot. We are obligated in this concept that the Beit Din has to take this concept of dividing the inheritance of an individual. כלומר שמצווה עלינו לעשות ולדון בענייני הנחלה. There's an obligation to go and to now make peace. כאשר דינה התורה עליה, as the laws of the Torah follow on those categories. Today you have a lot of big problems. A new wife comes in after the mother dies, and the new wife takes everything. According to the din of the Malchut Dina, the children get nothing. In America,
If you make an agreement.
if you made an agreement, you're right. If you didn't make an agreement, what are you going to do? Right? The mother died with 7 children. She died at the age of 25. Rahman al-Islam. A new wife came in. Now this new wife has new children, and but there's there's a lot of cooking over there. But the 7 children got nothing in the end. After 70 years. Shubrim, but now the other children are taking it. So there's a lot of discussion. Now, what's the purpose of this? Obviously, very simple: peace. All the laws, all the mitzvot in the Torah that have to deal with halachot and the laws, the judgments, and all these things are only one purpose. The purpose is for what? To make peace in the world, and that's the whole purpose. Okay, now it says like this: Shenimar ish ki yamut uben en lo ve'avartem et nachalato lebito v'im en lo bat. So where does you see it right away? It's talking about a person died and he had no man, no child, no offspring as a boy. He had what? A daughter. And if there is no daughter, then you go to the next. Who is the next after daughter? Who comes after daughter?
Brothers.
The brothers. יפה. וסוף הפרשה, והייתה לבני ישראל לחוקת משפט כאשר צבא השם את משה. This is a very, very important halacha. Again, that's why I was magdim to tell you that even though we have a lot of rules, how, what, where, and how, says the rabbi over here, I'm telling you from the outside today, nobody's talking about it. It's a big avla.
It's a mitzvah
It's a big,
to live.
What?
It's a mitzvah to live.
I'm just telling you, look at the Rishonim and Achronim and even the Chafetz Chaim is screaming, don't leave them a penny. Okay. Now, we're going to skip all this because there's a lot of deans. There's a lot to talk about it. ונוהגת בכל מקום בכל זמן, this mitzvah, זכרים ונקבות, ועובר על זה וציווה בין שכיב מרע, שלא ירשנו הראוי ליורשו ביטל עשה זה. So now, that again, there's some rules about, I don't want anybody to inherit me, or I don't want certain children to inherit me. So the rabbi says that those are going to be prohibitions. There's no such a thing, right? Once the father dies, or right, and he has inheritance left over, it has to be split. But the Beit Din has to split it accordingly. There is no such a thing as a father cannot say in his will, I don't want that child to get any of my inheritance. Once he dies, by the way, the will means nothing. By the way, halacha, will means nothing unless it's written. The will is written al menat matana, and it has to be done from the time he wrote it. Meaning, I want to leave my daughter $5 million. I have $10 million. I have 10 children. I have 1 daughter. I want that, right. So the daughter is the last on the list. The firstborn gets at least what? The firstborn gets how much?
Gets more.
He gets 1.8 million, right? Right? You're supposed to divide, what's that, 10 million divided into 9? Whatever it is, the first one gets double the all. 2 million at least. Okay, good. Now,
What if he doesn't give the first one double? He splits it evenly. Can
good.
the first one still take?
No, if he said it's a gift before he died, if the inheritance rules has to be, and the need today, the Beit Din and the lawyers who are in this business in the Torah, at least according to the Torah, they have to write it out. It's a gift from the moment that he wrote it. They cannot give a gift after he's dead. After he's dead, it goes back into the inheritance.
He didn't write anything.
No, that's it. Once he didn't write anything, the Beit Din comes in, girl gets 0, the firstborn gets double the portion of the rest. That's it. Okay? No, but let's say he wrote, I don't want this guy to get anything. I don't want this one to get this. I don't want this one to get, means 0. If he didn't separate the money, didn't give out a gift as a gift while he's alive, and it's chal while he's alive, only then the inheritance could go according to what he says. But if he wrote, when I die, I don't want this one to get, I'm upset with this child, I'm upset with that child.
You can even say, I don't want to give the Bechor double.
Double doesn't mean nothing. Doesn't mean nothing. We don't listen to him. Exactly that. If he didn't write it, if he didn't give it out, because now it's still an inheritance. There's money in the pot. What should we do with it? So the Beit Din has to judge, has to come in. And Bezat Hashem, hopefully, tonight we'll continue in more learning. Bezat Hashem.
Very nice.